So you've told me through text. I didn't really understand it at first. You told me through text. You said Halloween is dead. I had no idea what you were talking about. And then you kind of explained a little more. You'd sent me this picture of you outside watching the Browns game, right? You had your TV outside and ready for loads and loads of trick-or-treaters to show up. So how many actually showed up?
8.
Eight.
Eight.
Wow.
All of which pulled up in cars. Weren't even kids walking the streets in
Oh,
groups.
really?
Yep.
So what do you think the reasoning is for that? Do you think it's kids don't have a desire to do it anymore, or do you think it's because parents are too worried about let their kids walk the streets?
No, I think it's the second one. Yeah. The
Okay.
trunk or treat generation of soft ass parents who were too afraid to just educate their kids on the dangers of going out and trick or treating.
Yeah.
Rather than educating their kids and raising their kids and disciplining their kids and teaching them things about what to avoid and what to do.
But
They
you're
just
also
they just robbed them of their childhood.
you're also hypocritical though, right? Because you wouldn't let your kid do it either. I mean, I know he's not
Absolutely
old
would.
enough yet. You would?
Yeah, my wife and I made a pact. We're not going to raise our kids to trunk or treat. They're going to trick or treat. We'll go with them. And then when they're embarrassed, mom and dad, I don't want you to go. All right, you may go. Here are the rules. You got to follow the rules. If you break the rules, then next year there are limitations.
Right. Which I mean, that kind of sucks though too. Like at least if you are with your like go with your kids. If you
Go.
want to
Well,
walk
what's the
the street,
problem?
yeah, walk the streets with your kids. I mean, there's no
I
issue there.
hear I hear all these stories from, different people in different states actually, none of which are here. That's not true. Last year we went to my older sister's house. We sat out front, a bunch of adults sat around, had drinks, had a fire, and there were plenty of kids, you know. And for those kids that were too young, the parents walked with them and they stopped by and but I hear stories from other people in different states where they're like, yeah, the parents set up a haunted house in the garage and they gave away alcoholic beverages to the adults too. And like everybody was involved, the
Mhm.
kids were happy to be trick-or-treating with their parents. It was a giant party, right? And I'm like, everywhere I've lived as an adult in this city, Halloween has sucked. All of the dicks. No kids, no nothing. Like I decorated our house and not many houses. I mean, there were plenty of places around me that, there were decorations and I'm sure there was trick or treating. We thought in our previous home that we were going to get, well, it didn't help that it, COVID fucked it, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
true.
What are we afraid of? If you're that worried, then go with them. It's like parents don't want to raise their kids. It's like they don't want to have fun. And to the parents that pulled up in the cars to my house, at least you tried. At least you did something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'll be honest with you. We said this to each other, my wife and I. She's like, you know where they're going. She's like, you know why they're in a car right now. They're going to go pull over in a wealthier neighborhood than ours, and they're going to trick or treat there. I was like, yeah, I've done it. I did it as a kid.
Well, yeah, you're going after the full size candy bars in the
You're
wealthier
going after the
neighborhood.
score. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. But, we
Yeah.
made it special. We had a fire pit, football game on, Halloween movie on in the inside. You could see it, but whatever.
Maybe they just hate the Cleveland Browns.
No, because you know what, man? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of shit. A dude walked up though, so I put on my Run DMC get up,
Uh-huh.
sit out there, and from a distance I hear Run DMC. I'm like, oh, what's up, bro? And he came up and said what's up to me, and then he goes, oh shit, you got the game on too? I might as well chill with y'all. And I'm like, well, bro, I don't know you, so I appreciate you noticing.
Did you really say that?
No, in my mind, I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, I didn't say that. He was nice. It was fine. He was just joking. But
Yeah. That's the thing too. Like I guarantee, I mean, I know you only seen 8 kids, but not one of them had any idea who you were. Like who you were dressed up as.
no, it was so funny too, because one of them was like, I like your chain, and the other one was, I like your shoes, I like your whatever, but no clue. Whatever, man. I just think it's a bummer. Halloween is something that we get into still. And so like, the party we went to the weekend before was at my sister's house, and they get really into it, did up the whole thing. And they have trick-or-treaters where they live. I think it might be a cultural sort of like economic based thing too. Lower income neighborhoods, I feel like it's more prevalent than in higher income neighborhoods. Just guessing on that. But if that's what it feels like when I hear people talking about it, I just said like, yeah, they're going to the other neighborhood. I'm like, well, they ain't gonna have any luck because we were on the other side of that road. There weren't that many houses giving out candy. But I
Well,
don't know.
I think don't they kind of like up in St. Louis, like where the subdivision, like the nicer subdivisions and stuff, don't like most of the kids stay like in that subdivision. And like I think they kind of do it up for all the kids because they're all like there together.
Yeah, but that's not fun either.
Well, I don't know. I mean, does it really matter when you're young?
I think again, it's a generational thing. When I say like we would leave and we would be gone, that was
Yeah.
just life in general. When you're raised by boomers, it's like, here's $3, leave. Don't break anything that doesn't belong to you. Don't break any bones. Come back in one piece. We'll see you later. Just get out of here. And you could make $3 last at that.
Well, yeah, if you had to.
Oh man.
If you packed a sandwich to take with you, oh man.
That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. $3. I'm telling you, and a snack. But it's a bummer. Like I said, we're gonna raise our kids to have fun with it and enjoy it. Get into the whole spirit of it.
I mean, which is gonna be hard if there's no kids around him that have parents that are doing the same thing.
I think people still celebrate it. I just think there's the aspect of like kids hitting the streets is just, I think it's hit or miss depending on where you go. I like the idea of living in a neighborhood, even if it is just a small subdivision, which that's kind of a life we're trying to avoid. But of everyone on the block getting into it and making it fun and fun for the kids. It can be fun for the adults too. We'll call it fun for the whole family. Everyone can be involved. It doesn't have to be just kids. It doesn't have to be just the adults. Everyone have a good time. But I do know plenty of adults like, you like Halloween? I'm like, yeah, Halloween's the shit. What do you mean? What did you do when you were a kid?
Right.
What do you mean? What did you like Valentine's Day, you freak? What are you talking about? Whatever.
So what did you do with your son? Did you just take him like to family or anything or?
No, we didn't take him anywhere. He had a party at school and he had tons of fun. And we could tell when we picked him up, he was wrecked. He was just tired. And
gotcha.
So we were like, hey, he's still too young.
Yeah.
He's 2. Next year, maybe a different story.
Yeah.
So we were thinking about it, just dressing him up in his costume and maybe going to a few houses in the neighborhood, which again, I don't know which ones we would have gone to, or taking him to my parents or taking him to my sisters or just going to a different part of our neighborhood. We didn't. We just, we put on a Halloween movie and let them chill and then put them to bed. And then we watched football, gave candy to 8 kids.
Yeah.
And we have a bunch of candy in our house.
Well, at least you had the Browns game on because Cleveland beat the piss out of Cincinnati. I don't know where the hell that came from, but
they have their number. They have Joe Burrows.
Yeah.
It was a fun game to watch. They looked really good. Every game, they've been in every game this season.
So what's the story on Deshaun Watson? Because didn't he have more charges filed against him or something?
Nothing came of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
so we're still looking at the 12-week mark, he should be playing, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I don't know that I want him to. I just think ride it out with Jacoby. But I guess he has to play, man. You gave him that much money and he hasn't played in so long. He's got to get reps.
Yeah.
But do you want it to be at the detriment of not making the playoffs? They're 1 game out of the division lead.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible right now for them. Now we have plenty of season left. So it's not something they shouldn't be thinking about. And I'm sure they are. But, the way that Amari Cooper looked last week, the way that Jacoby looked last week, you got Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt just came out and made a statement being like, I want to stay here. I want to be here with Nick Chubb. I want him to be. So it seems like he wants to retire in Cleveland after all the talks of potential trades before the season. And now I feel like he wants to be there. And why wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
Now he could go somewhere else with a good running back and be complimentary to them. But why? Yeah. I mean, at this point, does it matter? This offense, he's having one of his worst years over the last 5 seasons. Well, probably the worst season of his last 5 seasons. But you still, as a Browns fan, you like having him because he always gets you the extra yards you need on 3rd down. He's always going to break through. He's just good to have around. So I hope he doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
So
Was there any trades that were made that surprised you or like bother you at all or anything?
Well, I
Any
mean,
of
the
the ones
Browns
that
didn't
you
really do anything.
right? Yeah, I don't think Denver did much either. Besides, gave up Chubb.
I would say Claypool going to the Bears was surprising. I was surprised to see the Steelers. I don't know if the Steelers are folding it up or I don't know what they're doing. I was surprised to see them. And Roquan Smith went to the Bears too, I want to say, which I was like, God damn. Like, no. Where'd he go? Oh, Roquan Smith went to the Ravens. That's why that bothered me. I was like,
The
God,
Ravens.
no,
Okay.
they added somebody. Yeah. So I mean, no. I mean, Roquan Smith sucked because he's in my division. And then I'm surprised that the Steelers are just, it seems like they're just kind of folding it in. Maybe not.
Folding it in, meaning like rebuild kind of
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I haven't even paid attention to them. Who's been their quarter? Trubisky hasn't been playing, right?
No, they put in Kenny Pickett.
That's right. Yeah, I looked
And
at
he
his
hasn't looked.
I looked at his basic stats the other day, and I think he had thrown 2 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
That's true. Let me just say this.
So that's not great.
3 of those were in the first game that he played. And all 3 were ones that, I find it's a shitty stat when it's in the receiver's hands and they drop it and it
I
gets
hate
picked.
it. I hate it. Yep.
All 3 in his first game were those. Now, were they the best
really?
throws? No. It could have been a better throw, sure. But you know what? You're a pro receiver. Make the fucking catch for your quarterback.
Right.
But
as you said, that's really shitty. I've always hated that. Like, if the ball leaves your hands once it touches another receiver, if it ends up being intercepted off of them, I don't understand how it's an interception off of you.
because it's not a catch.
Yeah, I know, but still.
It's a playable ball. It's a free ball. So it's on the quarterback to make sure that it's whatever.
But then it should be like they should add some other kind of stat where it's like a missed catch on the receiver.
Well, I agree, but they're never going to.
Yeah. Because then again, if there's a lot where it was just a bad pass by the quarterback.
Correct.
But the receiver was trying to do something.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I just think at that point in your career, you need to just make the catch or take the responsibility. Like, that's on me at the very least. But no, I don't. Everybody kind of just blame that game on Kenny Pickett. I don't feel sorry for him. Fuck him. He's a Steeler. Anyway, speaking of
what does a team like Jacksonville do? Do you keep holding on to Lawrence as our guy? And I'm not blaming Lawrence for the team, the whole team in general. I'm just saying, like, the quarterback is the leader of the team. So, like, do you just hold on to this as our guy, or what do you do in that instance? You know what I mean?
You move the team to St. Louis.
But that's also like Detroit. Like they have to make a coaching move, right? At some point, or do you think it's like rebuilding the team?
I don't know. That's just a black hole of fuckery.
Detroit itself is. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I joke around about being a Cleveland sports fan, but I would much rather be a Browns fan than a Lions fan.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it is just dismal. It's who is their coach right now? I can't remember. Dan Campbell.
That's it. Yep.
It's his first season, right?
I don't think so.
The second season?
Second or third, I'm pretty sure.
No way. He's been given 3 years there. No one makes it past year 2 there. Yep, second year. 3-13 last year. They're 1-6 this year.
A lot of different stuff going on this year, though. I mean, Philadelphia is on a roll still undefeated. You got other teams like Minnesota who's playing really well. KC, of course, and then teams who I made me put my foot in my mouth when you asked me at the beginning of the season who's going to go to the Super Bowl, and I said the Rams again. Ugh.
I said the Browns were going to play the Packers.
I know, but still.
Maybe it was good that you didn't make a pick and just let me be the stupid one.
Yeah. But
what are the Packers? 2-5? 3-5?
3-5, I think. Tampa Bay's the same.
Good. Fuck them. Retire, both of you fucks.
So at this point, who do you want to see in the Super Bowl?
Well, the Browns. And the Eagles would be cool. I like that. They're fun to watch. That'd be cool. It'd be really cool to. Let me say this. I'll give you I gave you 4 from the NFC that I would like to see there, just as something different. Eagles, Giants, the Vikings would be cool because that, God knows, that fan base has just been through the ringer as well.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to pick anyone from the South because who gives a fuck? Atlanta's winning. Atlanta's leading the division and they have a losing record, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go. Yeah, you know what? This will be fun. I'll go Giants, Eagles, Vikings, Bears. Any of those 4 from the NFC, I would be totally fine with. Because the Bears, I have Justin Fields to root for. The Vikings would just be a fun story because, again, the people of Minnesota, they just, misery when it comes to football. And then the other 2 are obviously good teams, and they're right there.
Yeah.
Who am I missing? Yeah, the South is just. I mean, the Cowboys too would be fun. I'm not gonna lie. I don't dislike the Cowboys. I like Dak. I like
the South always sucks because it's always like, as you said, like Atlanta's leading the division and have a losing record.
Well, just because Tampa Bay is so bad.
Well, that's true.
And you know who's starting for Carolina now?
PJ, what's his last name?
Walker.
Yeah.
So that's a good shift.
It is, but before we do that, did you see the game last week? The Carolina game?
No.
Dude, PJ Walker threw a Hail Mary bomb for a touchdown as the time was running out to go into overtime with Atlanta just to lose.
Oh, I saw that highlight. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a hell of a throw though. But anyways, yeah. So your transition, I know you're going to transition into the XFL. We are lucky enough that we have the Battlehawks back. St. Louis is getting an XFL team again.
Cacaw.
Yeah.
Wasn't that their thing? Cacaw.
Yeah.
Let's come up with something new.
Know they're not going to. We're going to hang on to that.
Okay, that's fine. The rules still apply.
I agree with you. Yeah.
What are the rules? You state them this time.
Well, the main rule.
Do it as passionately as I would.
The main rule you had was nobody mentioned Stan Kroenke. That's pretty much it. Or no doll, like no beating up dolls in the parking
no signs.
lot. And things like that. Yeah.
Now, if you bring them, you're going to be arrested. Nighty night. Goodbye. You're banned. Can't come back. Sorry. We've moved on. So should you.
I would hope at this point people move on. Are they going to? We'll see.
No,
but
no shot.
No
shot.
No.
I saw someone tweet about it the other day. Just like, what are you doing? Why? What do you care?
Right.
No, okay, this is what they tweeted about. They tweeted about the fact that when the 49ers and Rams were playing, it was just a sea of red. And it was the Rams home game. It was just a sea of red. I'm like, you realize San Francisco 49er fans travel that well everywhere. And they only have to go up to LA.
Yeah.
Down to LA. Down to LA. So it's okay. Move on. It's not a thing. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway. Like they said something like, "You couldn't fill the seats in St. Louis, but look at this." Fucking yeah, go to the Rams games when they played 49ers, man. There was a fucking lot of red in the fucking warehouse they played in too. So
did you see all the names of the teams that they announced for the XFL? There's gonna be one name that you are gonna absolutely hate.
Tell me.
The Brahmas.
Explain.
Because one of the Rock's wrestling names was the Brahma Bull.
What?
Yeah.
When was he called? What?
A lot. Like that was one of his nicknames in the WWE was the Brahma Bull. That's why he actually has the that tattoo on his arm. Maybe covered up now, but he used to. That was like on his delt was a Brahma Bull.
We're all a bunch of children.
Pretty much.
I never knew he was ever called that.
Oh,
I never knew he was called anything other than The Rock. What was some other nickname?
I think when he started, he was Rocky Maivia.
Well, I knew that. And then okay. No, I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
I don't know. There's more, I'm sure.
Gross conversation. I love The Rock, but come on. The Brahmas. Are there any other new names that I'm gonna have something to say?
I know there's a Guardians team.
Really?
There. Yeah, is that we just need to look it up.
Was the season starts 2023?
Yeah, I'm thinking it was Orlando. Did Orlando get the Guardians?
Teams. Arlington Renegades, the Houston Roughnecks, the Vegas Vipers, the Orlando Guardians.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, really? The same year as the Cleveland Guardians?
I thought that was kind of odd.
Fuck off. And they play at Camping World Stadium. I'm sure it's beautiful. Oh, God. San Antonio Brahmas, the Seattle Sea Dragons, and the DC Defender.
So I think DC Defenders was a team before. I know Houston Roughnecks was.
Yeah. Why would they put a team in Arlington?
The Battle Hawks, of course, too. I don't even know if Arlington had a team before.
I think Dallas did. Which again, that's kind of it's pretty much the same fucking thing. But
yeah,
Bob Stoops is their coach. Head coaches: Bob Stoops, Wade Phillips, Rod Woodson, Terrell Buckley, Anthony Becht, Hines Ward is the coach, Jim Haslett, and Reggie Barlow. I'll tell you what. You know what the best name is? The Battlehawks.
I like it.
I think it's the best one.
Yeah.
I think the Battlehawks or Renegades and Roughnecks sounds like all of the names with the exception of Guardians and Battlehawks sound like arena football teams. No disrespect to arena football. Yeah. That's just what they sound like.
Yeah, kind of.
Whatever. I'm excited. I'll watch.
But so did we say 8 teams?
Yeah.
Out of 8 teams, 3 of them are from Texas?
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. I'm sure it's
traveling to do there, huh?
Yeah. I'm sure it's all based off of, the numbers they had in the previous seasons in those areas and stuff. But you would have thought we could have branched out a little bit more than that if we're only going to have 8 teams.
I mean, you only have 2 teams on the coast, and then everything is, well, I guess Orlando counts. So, I mean, you have 3 teams on one side of each side of the country, and then everything else is kind of packed in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas is not in the middle of the country, but again, I'll watch. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
You know what?
I do like to, they had like several different, like a lot of the rules are different from what the NFL is. So I'm interested to see that kind of stuff too. And if they change any or if they keep any from how the XFL was before and stuff like that too. Like I'm interested in, how the whole, like after you get a touchdown, you can go for a 1, 2, or 3 point and all those kinds of things. Those are neat to see.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that the rules are different. It did not help arena football. Let's just be honest. But
yeah.
I'll say this. They did a hell of a lot better job than the first run with the XFL this last time at generating some excitement and getting people behind the idea that like there's real football to watch here. Again, not saying that there's not an arena football. I'm just saying arena football has not been successful as far as, a fan base goes. I'll be excited to see what happens. Like I said, I'll watch. I'll go to some Battlehawks games. I wish they played somewhere else. I wish.
You don't like the dome?
I fucking can't stand it.
Really?
It's a piece of shit.
Oh, it's been a long time.
I hated going there when the Rams were here. It's horrible. It's horrible for sports.
Yeah. It'd
be good for basketball, but they're only going to have the one-off sort of tournaments or whatever they have there. But it's gross. There's nothing to it. It's not a football. You want a football stadium to be A, open air. B, you want it to be a sight to see. You want it to be, well, every stadium should be this way. Like, have you been downtown yet and see the development of the soccer stadium yet?
I've seen pictures. I haven't been down there though.
Go down there and check it out, man. That's going to be exciting. So much fun. And that's what you want out of a stadium. You want to make it feel like an experience. The dome sucks. It's just it'd be one thing if they like found a way to create some tailgating space to where you have everyone in, like in Kansas City, you have everyone in the same lot. It's a big party. When I would go to Rams games, I would tailgate, but I would be one small lot of season ticket holders, then another small lot of people. And it just wasn't a party, man. It was,
right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Who doesn't like starting to, drink at 9 a.m. and watch football, but just something missing with it. So we'll see. Maybe the XFL takes off so well and the Battlehawks do so well that they knock that fucker down and build a new stadium on the riverfront like they wanted to do with the Rams.
I don't. Maybe
it was hypothetical.
I know what you're saying, but I think the only way that would happen was if the XFL blew up enough that they believe that football is big enough in St. Louis to bring an NFL team back before they would spend the money to build a new stadium.
I'm cool with the XFL. I
But
don't need to go through all that again.
if stadiums like the soccer stadium, can bring in a lot more revenue for the city,
Oh, it
who
will.
knows?
It's
Who
going to
knows?
be huge.
Yeah, I know,
It's
but
gonna be
that's what I'm
huge.
saying. Like, if it brings in a lot more money, a lot more revenue for the city itself, then who knows? Maybe we'd both be wrong. I don't know.
I had an unfortunate conversation with someone about the soccer team in the stadium. They were very anti because it was taking away. They were calling it gentrification of Midtown, and I'm like, okay, you mean all of those jobs it's going to create for people, all of those accessible jobs that it's created for people, because people
Yeah.
can take public transportation to get to the place, they can work. I don't see the problem, but okay, I'm with you. You don't okay. Wait, I think it's based on the idea that everyone who's going to be going doesn't live within the city limits. They live west of downtown St. Louis, to which I say, who cares?
Well, I guess
Who
the other thing
cares?
is too, like, do we have, and this is, I'm being honest here on this question. Do we have enough people in St. Louis to pack that stadium? We don't, right?
That
Like
actually
that
live in
that
St.
that
Louis,
that
downtown
are
St. Louis.
yeah, that are soccer fans that will be
No,
there to pack out the place, right? Yeah.
no, of
So we're
course
going to be
not.
relying on a lot of outside travel into the city,
Of course.
which is a good thing. I'm
Do
not saying it's a
people
bad
think
thing.
the Cardinals sell 40,000 tickets every home game to people that live in downtown St. Louis? No,
Well, yeah, I know, but
this isn't
I
any
would,
different.
okay. Outside looking in, I don't know, is St. Louis really a soccer city?
Yes,
Is my question. Are they? They are.
100%.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Many professional teams have lived in St. Louis. Yes.
Okay.
Soccer. I used to hear stories about it all the time when I was younger. So yeah, no, I think it'll do well. They're going to do well. It's going to do well. It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be great, and it's going to be great for the city. And regardless of what, and everything in around it too. Like Midtown is really, because of SLU, which how it took this long to give St. Louis, the biggest university in the city, how it took this long to give those students something to do and more to see and more to experience. When I was in high school, when I graduated high school, I had several friends go to SLU, and I would go downtown and visit them, stay on the campus with them, and we would go out. There was nothing to do bar wise or like nightlife wise. We created things to do.
Yeah.
We would shut down vacant warehouses and have parties and raves, and there's nothing to do. Now they have a food market. They have, Union Station has been revitalized. They have the aquarium. They have all of these new, developments of other places to live besides in the dorms. Like it's just so much different. So the soccer team is going to help that. It's not going to hurt it.
Right.
I know it's not all about the SLU students. I know it's about the people that live 5 minutes north of Midtown. Yeah, you took a large chunk of land away, but what was the land doing before? What were we doing with it before?
That's true. Yeah. Nothing.
So, the whole idea of gentrification, it's like, I understand where you're coming from, but not all gentrification can be bad, right? We're not putting a Starbucks there,
Right.
we're
Yeah.
putting a giant open air stadium that's going to create jobs for thousands and thousands and thousands of people from
Yeah.
everywhere, from all walks of life. So it's like, why is that a bad thing? I don't understand the dilemma. Now, the back end of the business that you and I have no clue about, meaning the ownership group that brought the team to the city, and I'm sure they had to, create some backdoor deals to get it done, and I'm sure there were some things done. That's business. That's commerce. That's city economy.
Yeah.
They tried to get the city of St. Louis to bring the team. They couldn't make it happen. So private owners had to step in. That's professional sports in every city.
Right.
How many towns own their professional sports franchise? Green Bay. And who else? Like the Packers belong to the city of Green Bay, but I can't think of anyone else where that's the case.
What do you mean exactly? Okay. So Green Bay.
The city of Green Bay
Okay.
owns the Packers, so they control the team.
Oh, okay. I guess I haven't really ever thought about that.
The Packers are the only publicly owned franchise in the NFL. Rather than being the property of an individual, partnership, or corporate entity, they are held as of 2022 by 537,460 stockholders. So if you live in Green Bay and you want a piece, you can buy it.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I believe they're the only one.
Which one, in your opinion, is better? Is it better to be publicly owned or privately? Or
I don't know, man.
Don't know.
I mean, I think it's cool to be publicly owned. Like if you live in the city of Green Bay, that feels like it's your team. You know, over 500,000 shareholders, like that's a huge deal. And Green Bay is not a big city. It's not a big, there's nothing to do in Green Bay other than the Packers.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, no, dude. I don't see anything about the NBA. Yeah.
Huh.
Speaking of the NBA, what are your thoughts on my boy Kyrie Irving?
So you're
just kidding. Not my boy.
I know. He went on Twitter and started making some. Well, no, he was promoting was it a movie?
A movie that has been deemed to be anti-Semitic, yes.
Right. Oh, yeah. So you said that he did a press conference today since he posted that, and you said he kind of gave a half-ass apology. What exactly did the apology say? Because I didn't hear that.
I don't know if there was really an apology at all. I think he said that some of the things about the movie and some of the symbolism in it is problematic. I take my responsibility for posting that. Irving said some things that were questionable in there / untrue. Like I said, in the first time you guys asked me when I was sitting on the stage, I don't believe everything that everybody posts. It's a documentary, so I take my responsibility. Again, that's not really, I don't even know what that means.
Right.
I didn't mean to cause any harm. I'm not the one that made the documentary. Again, that's backtracking. I didn't mean to cause any harm. I'm sorry, is what you're supposed to say.
Right.
I'm not the one that made the documentary. Also, that's how like a 6th grader argues.
So did you see the original tweet? Like, what is he doing what is he saying to promote it?
To promote the movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Let me see if I can find it. Let me just search that tweet.
I mean, is he just trying to get people to watch this movie, or is he actually talking about the symbolism that's in it?
No, I think he was just, like he said, promoting, or like you said, promoting the movie. Yeah, I guess everybody's also pissed off at the Nets for they kind of didn't really give. I mean, they made a statement in there. I don't know if an apology was necessarily given.
But, I believe we've talked about this kind of a thing before, but he went on his personal Twitter. I understand he's part of this team and he's part of this city because of that, but why should the team have to stick their neck out and apologize for him?
Because he's their employee.
So they should basically be telling him, you need to get out in front of this and make an apology or fine him or something along those lines instead of them having to do it.
He should be fine. Well, I don't know if he should be fined. Here's the thing. So back to what you asked. So the documentary advances the false and anti-Semitic thesis that Black people are the chosen ones from Israel and have been victimized by Jews.
Okay.
And then he went on to say, like, I'm not anti-Semitic because I know where I come from. Again, not apologizing. And he's saying things that aren't true. And honestly, he's saying things that he doesn't even know what he's saying. So to your question about the Nets, it's like, here's my problem with him and Kanye and things like this. When are we going to stop caring about how good someone is at basketball or about how good someone is at making beats and just go, hey, he's a fucking asshole. He's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time Kyrie's put his own foot in his mouth. And we know what Kanye has done.
Yeah.
So why don't we just chalk it up to, yeah, mentally ill, fine, but he's a fucking asshole. Some of these things are calculated dickhead moves. You know, when you meet someone and they say something and you go, ugh. And then 15 minutes later, they're in the same room as you again, and they say something again, and you go, God. And then you finally get the chance to talk to them, and you go, all right, I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself. I'm going to give you the opportunity to prove to me. Have you ever been in that situation?
I mean,
or it could be someone that you've heard is an asshole, and then you finally get the chance to meet them, and you go, all right, I'm going to hold all of my preconceived notions that I had about you. I'm going to hold them off until I get to speak to you. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they just do it again. That's what's happening with these guys. You keep giving them chances to not be assholes when really you should go, they're fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Kyrie's a dope. Kanye's a dope.
Is this a generational thing though? because,
Well, I think with Kyrie,
because of social media. And I say that because I'm thinking back to, when Michael Jordan was playing and social media wasn't a thing. Like, even if it was a thing back then, I don't think you're going to see those guys posting about this kind of stuff.
no. Michael Jordan cared about basketball and gambling.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson cared about basketball and fucking bitches. Not, it is a generational thing for sure, but I think Kyrie's just a dope. I think they're both uneducated people who are starved for attention, that talk about things that they've had no education. They know that when they speak about them, it's going to create attention for them. This isn't like, psychologically speaking, this isn't that complicated. I just think at some point, it's like I said about people that, well, it's like what we talked about with people who just have no awareness, like self-awareness at all. It's like sometimes eventually you got to go cut the shit.
Yeah.
We don't seem to do that with these guys. We kind of like, oh, he's good at basketball and we want to see him play. So it's okay if we just get an apology, right? We want Kanye's next album to drop. So if he goes on Tucker or if he goes on Lex Friedman's podcast and he gives an honest answer to his behavior, then all is forgiven. It's like, no, he said, fuck. Did you see the podcast with Lex Friedman and Kanye?
Do
you know who Lex Friedman is?
I know the name.
I mean, I don't really know what you call him other than an influencer or podcaster.
Okay.
I mean, I could Google him and give you what Google's interpretation of him is, but who cares? But, Kanye was like, he was a dick. He was a dick. And, Lex Friedman, who I believe is Jewish, was trying to get things out of him and get like real moments out of him. Kanye pulled the whole defensive, like, I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to do what you say. I can do what I want thing. It's like, dude, you argue like a fucking teenager on Maury Povich. Like, that's how you have conversations with people.
And also, you've agreed to go on a podcast knowing what kind of questions you're probably going to get.
Yeah. I think people just need to stop having him on. Stop giving him the opportunity to keep fucking up. And then maybe eventually he'll go, man, nobody wants to talk to me. I wonder what I did. Oh, yeah. It's not what did I do? What didn't I do?
Yeah, but now
I've got a lot of ground to cover here.
Now we want to hear the ridiculousness that is Kanye.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, I know, but I'm saying the masses. And that podcaster or that whoever it is that's doing the interview, it's just as much about them as it is Kanye. Now, if we have Kanye on, it's going to boost our numbers because people want to see what kind of stupid shit he's going to say.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. And it's important that you give me an honest answer. And this is totally shifting the conversation. Still Kanye, but just a different. Who do you think, if you had to pick one or two or three or four, however many you want to do, if you can reel them off, who's a musical genius to you?
A musical genius?
Yeah, man. Who would you call a musical genius? Don't think too hard. No answer you give me is going to be wrong, by the way. I'm not going to hate.
I know. I don't know. That's hard to.
Would you call Dave Grohl a musical genius?
Okay. Yeah.
Has he proven that he likely knows how to write a good tune?
Yeah, I'll give him that. But the reason why this was hard for me is because this is a
subjective.
That's it. Everybody's gonna be different, I guess. It's my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah,
it is. But can I tell you something? Kanye, if I hear one more comedian or podcaster suck Kanye's dick and talk about how much of a musical genius he is, so this type of behavior can be swept under the rug because he's a genius and he's a troubled artist, man, my head's going to explode. It's going to explode.
Can troubled artists be a thing anymore?
I think we're all troubled.
I know, but I feel like that term should have died out a long time ago.
Yeah, but it hasn't. And it's still being
and maybe why I say that is because the term troubled. Okay, let me ask you this. If you hear the term troubled artist, who is the first person that pops in your head?
Current?
Mine's in the past, but.
Oh, well, if I was thinking like current, Demi Lovato.
Okay.
Ronnie Radke. That's like previous behavior though.
Oh, okay.
Demi Lovato was the first one that came to mind. Let me think.
Okay,
let me think. Well, I mean, that's fine.
So what I'm saying is like, I don't know if troubled artists should be a thing anymore, but the first name that pops in my head is Kurt Cobain.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it should have
Amy
died like that.
Winehouse.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That term should have, I guess, died out with them. But I guess it just depends on how you look at it, because I mean, you could consider Chester or Chris Cornell,
Absolutely.
troubled artists and stuff too. So maybe
What about
maybe I'm wrong.
what about guys like Juice World, or all of these rappers who were getting killed from
But Juice World kind of killed himself.
That doesn't sound troubling to you? I would call that.
Well, yeah, but what happened, right? Like, the situation.
Yeah, Kurt Cobain killed himself, allegedly.
Yeah, but Juice WRLD did it so he wouldn't get arrested.
Okay.
Like he just shoved
That's
a bunch of
troubling to
drugs
me,
into
bro.
his belly.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it is, but
understand.
this is like just a bad decision that ended his life. Like
Well, I think he
I don't feel like
perhaps was an addict and was doing things.
okay,
It was out of control, right?
okay.
XXX Tentacion, same thing. And all of these rappers who are getting murdered because people know where they are. I mean, I would say at some point you got to draw the line and go, this lifestyle of flexing and being out in the public and talking about things the way that I do, knowing that people are looking for me, I think that makes them troubled artists in a sense.
That's true.
And by the way, I mean, we haven't even talked about it yet, but I mean, I think people associate troubled artists with like drugs and erratic behavior when it comes to drugs, or it comes to like, making bad decisions out in public for people to see, I guess. But they don't think about the internal shit.
And see, that's where my mind goes when when I hear the term troubled artist. Like I said, Chester and Chris Cornell and Kurt Cobain, people like that, like, in their head, something is wrong. They are not able to cope with life very well.
Yeah. So back to Mike. So you don't like the term troubled artist, but I mean, I keep hearing these guys and gals call him that. And it's like, how much of what he does is about his art though? And,
I'm sure
more of it is about his own vanity and his own narcissism.
Well, but his fans probably think that is his art.
Oh, so it's not his music?
Well, I mean, that is too. Like I'm assuming that his fans think that all of it is like all of his actions is Kanye's art. And kind of it is, because I don't know.
Well, that's problematic to me. Yeah. And I'm glad you said that, because for me now, that means that I think he is living, breathing proof. And we'll get to another person in a minute who's another example, but he is living, breathing proof that people are able to separate the person from the art. We had this conversation earlier on an earlier episode about when Marilyn Manson was going through his shit, and with Michael Jackson and all of these people. I think clearly these days it's easy to rally the troops behind someone and defend their art versus their personality, and they're able to separate the two more so than I would say the last generation. I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, Garth Brooks has killed at least 17 people, and he still sells out football stadiums.
All right, Tom Segura. That is the weirdest
conspiracy. Do you know that his fans have taken over Garth Brooks' social media?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, completely.
That's hilarious.
It's and they've gone to concerts now, and they have like signs that say, "Where are the bodies, Garth?" And it's pretty crazy. I should probably stop buying into the conspiracy, or feeding the. Okay, forget about Garth Brooks. But so to expand upon my point of people can separate the art from the person. I told you earlier, Morgan Wallen is playing Busch Stadium.
Yeah.
A, I didn't know that guy sold that well to be playing stadiums. B, who are the assholes that go to see this guy play? C, it proves how gross St. Louis is.
Didn't he blow up after that whole?
Huge. He had the #1 record on iTunes after. Let me ask you this, because I don't remember.
Because he called somebody the N-word.
Oh, he dropped a hard R at somebody?
Well, I don't think it was towards somebody. I think it was calling, like, if I'm right, I'm pretty sure he was calling them that, like, not at them, but like, I don't know how to say it without saying it. I don't want to say it. So,
well, no, I mean, say it.
This is a situation where somebody recorded him, and he was just saying like calling basically a friend, but using the N-word. I'm pretty sure. And that's what blew up.
So I guess he was partying with a friend and he was shouting to a friend, take care of this. Now,
am I right or no?
No, well, yes. He was
Okay.
referring to one of his friends.
Okay.
But did he use, and it doesn't matter, but I'm just curious, did he use the hard R or did he use the A?
Not sure.
Well, obviously, NBC News is too scared to actually use the word in an article. Like, hey, fuckers, we know what you're talking about. Just say what he said. That's why I hate the media. Okay, following coverage of the incident, Wallen almost immediately saw a 1,220% increase in digital album sales and a 327% increase in song sales.
And that's what's funny is like the news outlets know that when they promote what is happening in a scenario like that, they know that they are helping his career, but they have to push the news. And that was for some reason news.
Wallen said he did spend 30 days in rehab following the alcohol-fueled incident. He has previously said he uttered the slur at the end of a 72-hour bender. I was around some friends and we say dumb stuff together, Waller said. In our minds, it's playful. I don't know if it sounds ignorant, but that's really where it came from. So who recorded it and who released it to the media?
That I'm not sure.
One of his friends? You need new friends, bro.
I think he was like at a party or something, wasn't he? Or throwing a party, and I think it was someone that was there or something along those lines.
They asked the musician if he realizes how hurtful the word is to black. The word goes back to slavery used by white people to dehumanize black people, make them feel less than, Strahan said. It also, as you dig deeper, is a word that a lot of black people heard before they were terrorized, beaten, or even possibly killed. So it's a word that really I've been called it. It makes you mad. It makes you angry. It doesn't make you feel good. So do you understand why it makes black people so upset? Wallen responded, I do understand, especially when I say that I'm using it playfully or whatever, ignorantly. I understand that must sound like, like he doesn't understand. This is a guy selling out stadiums. Unreal. And that will sell out, right? You don't play Busch Stadium unless you're going to sell the fucker out. Like you don't get booked at Busch Stadium if it's going to be half full.
Right.
So they know that he's going to sell that bitch out, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
Is he the biggest country music star right now?
Dude, I don't know. If you hadn't named him, I don't know who current stars are in country music.
I know that guy because of that story. I know there's Luke Bryan. Is Luke Bryan? Is that the guy's name?
I think so.
He's a Martian.
Is Jason Aldean still a country artist?
I mean, I think all these guys are still touring and still doing well. Country music is huge. And it really is bizarre that it's so big. But I think it just speaks volumes too.
Why is it bizarre?
Because it's country. Have you listened to it? I mean, come on. It's fine. I'm not a fan. I'm never going to be.
I know you're not.
But
to be curious on why it's so big is odd. I mean, no different from any other genre of music that has just evolved throughout decades and decades.
Because I don't hear a lot of diversity in the music. And by that, I mean people really being original and standing out as something unique. It all sounds the same to me.
But do you think that if someone who is a hardcore country fan, and that's pretty much all they listen to, if they listen to hip hop, that they may say the same thing? Because that's
but I would never be in the same room as that person, so I would never know. So I guess I'll just have to not know. That's fine.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right.
I'll remain ignorant to that fact.
Okay.
Speaking of hip hop, and we can get off. So anyway, I think Morgan Wallen could be a good example of people just separating. But again, and maybe I'm not even making a good point because the people who would go see that guy play most likely didn't have a problem with him using that word in any context. Fair to assume that 95% of country fans are okay with him saying the word and most likely use it themselves. Come on, just agree with me.
I don't know. I don't know about.
You live in the woods. You can't.
I don't think I can agree with that.
Your neighbors will come burn your house down if you agree with me. I get it. Come on, think about it. Have you been to a country music concert?
I have.
Okay. I like the confidence. I like the confidence you had when you said that. But you've been. So come on.
Yes, I definitely have. But I don't get the feeling when I'm at a country concert that all these people would be fine using the N-word. Because that's what you're saying. And I don't know about that.
Have you ever been in a bar that has a Touch Tunes jukebox?
Yeah.
Have you ever been like, oh man, there's some really good music playing and you're into it. You and your friends are having a ball. And then a stupid country song comes on and you look up at that jukebox and you go, says the N word. I know it. Says the N word. I know it. You look at the person and you go, I hate that guy. That guy's a piece of shit. Never. I'm the only one that does this at
I think
public
so.
places. Okay. Damn. I thought I wasn't alone here.
That one. Yeah, that one's a
I
tough
think
one.
it's safe to say the people that would pay, and I guarantee you, let's find out what tickets are for Morgan Wallen at Busch Stadium. Take a guess.
I mean, like a standard ticket.
Yeah. Take a guess at what they cost.
I'd say they probably start out around 70-ish.
How old is this guy? The average price of a ticket for Morgan Wallen is $255.
Oh my God. Well, I
So-
said starting, so I'm thinking like upper deck.
Well, I just used the word average.
Yeah, I know.
So I think it's safe to say that a person who would pay $200 to see that motherfucker play, they're okay with him using that word. Someone with convictions and ideas and morals and a disciplined mind wouldn't go, it's okay. Here, take my $200. They'll go, no, you don't get it anymore. You're not with me on this, and it's really bugging me.
I'm not, because you're basically just saying that any person who listens to country is racist.
Yes. How did you know? And this will be clipped and it will be all over. And I hope people get upset at me. I don't care.
Oh my
No,
God.
that's not what that's not, dude.
I know you're not really meaning that. I'm just.
Let's take the blindfolds off here for a minute. Okay. You've been in a situation where you've been around a lot of people that listen to country music. You know what type of people you're around. Now, I'm not saying that all people who listen to country music are racist. Okay. But I am saying that people who listen to country music are racist.
But people can also listen to hip hop or listen to new metal and be racist.
Are they racist?
It can be.
Yeah, some. Like what, 2? I'm kidding. All right, I'm kidding. It's fine.
The weirdest argument we've ever had.
We can drop it. I'm making generalizations about a group of people who listen to terrible music. Just let me have my moment here. It's fine. Let me ask you this. Where's Morgan Wallen from? This is an experiment I'm going to run with here until you give me a valid point about something.
I'm going to guess he's from Tennessee.
That's your guess?
Yeah.
God, he is. He's from Sneedville, Tennessee. Now, let me ask you something. Do you think the people of Sneedville are the most open-minded people? What do you think?
I don't know.
You're so full of shit.
You're so crazy.
You know I'm right.
Crazy.
Well, we can get off it. I think what we should do
is buy tickets to Morgan Wallen show.
No, it's never going to happen. But we need to say rest in peace to Takeoff from Migos, who was killed a couple of days ago.
I seen that.
Very sad story. And to the people who, and I actually shared a post on Facebook of a guy talking about this. For the people that shared videos of him dead on the floor, you suck. You suck.
Well, what happened though? I didn't see what the circumstance.
He was at a bowling alley late at night in Houston, and I don't know exactly if it was a drop in. What's it called? Fuck me. When you're on social media and you let people know where you are, what's it called?
A check-in.
Check-in. Jesus Christ. Thank you. I don't know if it was a check-in murder or if it was having to do with something else. I haven't read up on that yet, and I don't even know if they've released that yet. But he was at a bowling alley late, like after hours. He was playing poker, from what I remember reading in the story, and someone came in and started shooting people, and he was one of the people that got shot, and he died.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Who just goes into a bowling alley and starts shooting?
Well, in some areas of the country, that seems to be a normal thing, bro. Unfortunately.
Where was this at?
Not Houston.
It was in Houston.
Yeah. But again, people that posted the videos of him just for clicks and views, and like, you suck. Did you really need to post? And did you need to post like, I don't understand. I don't understand the brains of people who could go, this guy just got killed. Let me go ahead and post his lifeless body laying on the floor on Facebook of all places.
Right.
Yeah. So apparently Quavo, who's also in Migos, was like trying to get and I guess there's a video of that too, which again is gross, but was trying to called 911 and was trying to get instructions on, he didn't know CPR, but he was trying to get instructions on how to do it to
Mhm.
potentially save his life, obviously unsuccessfully. Yeah, I don't see anything yet as to this was just a random act of violence or anything other than a random act of violence. Excuse me.
Right.
Like I don't think it was a check-in murder like we've seen so often as of late.
So you've said that twice now. Is that a thing?
It's a
Like
huge thing. Huge thing.
a check-in murder?
Yes.
I've never heard that before. Well,
So there's a couple of different. Well, look. At the end of the day, what's happening is guys are going out, and on social media they're saying where they are. People are seeing it. They're going to that place and they're killing them. It's becoming more and more common as of late, and it's a bummer. It's just the most recent one was P&B Rock, who was at a fucking Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And I guess let me before I say this, let me make sure that's what happened. Okay, so I'm going to say this, and I don't know. This is what I heard initially when he died, was that they were out, and his girlfriend posted where they were. Now, again, if you're one of these guys, it's it's risky to post where you are. People are going to come get you. The same thing happened to
well,
XXX Tentacion. He was buying a
but
motorcycle. They showed up and killed him.
but that's what sucks too, is like you just said, like his girlfriend posted it. What's keeping for it
Anybody.
anybody from, if Kanye shows up to a bowling alley and somebody else there sees him and they check in and say, "Hey, Kanye's here."
Well, I don't know if Kanye's a guy that
I'm
necessarily. Well, I understand.
I'm using
Yeah.
him as
No, I
as an
know.
example, but anybody famous. I mean,
Sure.
what's stopping somebody from saying Morgan Wallen's at the bowling alley and somebody racist comes in and shoots him?
Somebody racist or somebody
Or somebody who thinks he's
not
racist.
racist?
Sorry, that's not what I meant.
So who else? Like Pop Smoke got killed. Like it's just a ton of people. And now you have like drill rap, which have you
What
heard
is
of that?
that?
So drill rap originated 2010s, and I think most people will call the place of origin Chicago, but drill rap is becoming very prevalent in New York City now. Drill rap essentially is about, you're talking shit to your rival rapper, basically saying, I'm outside of your place, come down and get shot, right? Or meet me here and you'll get shot. And people are actually doing it and people are dying. The whole idea of the art, and I use that term loosely, the idea of the music is to boast that you're in that person's territory or you're in that person's apartment complex or whatever the case may be. And then should the person actually show their face while you're there, then it's going down. I
Hang
mean,
on.
it's getting so bad.
You put this music out?
You do.
This was
But it's
okay.
mainly like social media. It's streaming social
Okay.
media music.
Okay.
Like it's not like it's like produced and like takes forever to. It's spontaneous. You make it, you put it out, right? You need people to see it.
So like whenever there was the beef between Machine Gun Kelly and Eminem, if one of them would have posted on social media and acted like they were in the other one's territory,
Now, again, you're bringing up two
rapping
guys that I
about it,
don't think necessarily indulge into this lifestyle.
I understand that. I'm just using them as
Yeah,
an example, as that's the thought behind it. And then one
yeah.
of them would have
I
killed the
mean,
other.
could that have happened? Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's gaining popularity or did gain popularity in Europe, especially in the UK. But I think like what people don't like about it, or what's known, what the emergence of it now is because it's getting very real.
I mean, you
The
named
names are
several people that
escaping me.
passed away, but I don't know if it was because of that.
Those weren't drill rap rappers, but I mean, then the mayor of New York City has like spoken out about this several times, and just basically being like it's instigating violence in the city. And he's even met with a bunch of like rappers who are considered to be prominent in the genre and stuff. Like it gets pretty real now. The level of like how many people are getting killed, I don't know if they've released that. I think a lot of times from what I've seen of like news reports, they've chalked it up to gang and street violence and not necessarily derived from the music. But I think a lot of times these songs are leaking and they're kind of seeing the light of day, and people are kind of using them as the point of origin for some people getting killed.
Wow.
I don't know, man. I'm here. If it can become prominent in the UK, why not? They don't even have guns over there. You got to stab a motherfucker over there. for real. But so anyway, rest in peace to Takeoff. I know I jokingly on one of our episodes, and I was actually trying to find the old episode today where I talked about Migos, and you're like, who? I was like, God damn you. But so I am a Migos fan for sure. So it's a bummer. It's a bummer. But again, like posting the videos and like, videos of him dead, and
It's gross.
I report people on Twitter that do that.
Oh, do you?
Oh fuck. So many times. So many times.
Good.
There was a video and I had to check and see if it was fake or not. Like I had to look at the comments and I had to look at who posted it. I had to look at their profile because I don't want to report someone that's, now again, joking about murder is crazy, but I don't want to report someone who found a way to create a fake video and did it well enough to fool me.
Gotcha.
I'll let somebody else deal with that. But there was this video of people at like a pool party, right? And there were two girls arguing, right? And the one girl takes a swing at the other. The one who gets hit goes into her purse, pulls a gun out, and just blows this girl away. Just clear as day, you could see everything, right? In the video. I'm like, was that real? Like, come on. So I started looking at the comments and seeing if people would like say where it happened, the city, and then someone did. So I Googled girl murdered at pool party in said city. It was real. I'm like, how the fuck did this make it on Twitter? So I immediately reported it and they took it down. Like Twitter responded, like, thank you for reporting this. And
wow.
I'm not going to report you if you say like for your political beliefs or for whatever, but like you're showing murder. I don't want to see that.
Right.
I don't want to see that. Like it's gross.
But
There's another.
So to you, is it worth doing the research to find out if it's real just to report
it? Didn't take me long, to be honest with you, man.
Okay.
Like it didn't take me long.
Okay.
I was on the shitter, so I had plenty of time. It didn't take me long. But there was another.